Term 1 of university is over, and I've now returned back to university for Term 2. So, what better way to start Term 2 by reflecting on Term 1? This video today is all about how my Term 1 went from starting university in September to finishing university and going home for Christmas in December. Let's get into it. This video is aimed at those who are thinking of starting university and they want to get a feel of how it will be as their first term. I'm currently in first year studying evolutionary biology at the University of Exeter. It can be a big transition, so hopefully this video gives some insight into how your first term might be, and perhaps you can take steps to prepare for things like that. Firstly, it's important to note that it's very different to high school, and there's a lot of new things you have to take in. But there are loads of forms of support out there. Your parents will hopefully be helping you move in. You can go to advice about teachers, talk to current students, talk to lecturers, talk to university tend to have their own support system in play for all kinds of needs. There's definitely lots of support out there to help you move in. The first thing I noticed is you don't necessarily have lessons. You have something called lectures. So you go into a massive lecture hall, you take your seat, everyone takes out their laptop and their pen and paper, etc. And it's literally a lecturer at the front who is specialised in a particular field, talking about a particular subject, content of the course that you're taking, to a huge audience, going through a PowerPoint, talking through, expanding on key points that are mentioned in the PowerPoint, while students are frantically typing down and writing down all sorts of notes. And these lectures will be based on modules you pick. So you will have picked your modules by the time starting university in first year. I'm currently taking 5 modules. I know some people who take 1 module. I don't think anyone takes more than 6 modules per term. For example, in term 1 I took modules such as zoology, ecology and conservation, microbes, introduction to human sciences, skills and careers. This term I am taking zoology, the second part of that module, because it's a bigger module than the others. Skills and careers, because again, same concept as zoology, it's a bigger module. Genetics, and also evolution. So those are the 4 I'm taking this term, and next term I believe I might have something similar. Modules are subtopics that you sort of have to pick or are mandatory as part of the degree program you've picked. And lectures are a big way of learning about your module. I've noticed that in first year you don't tend to have seminars. Seminars are just small group discussions about a topic, usually with a few students and an academic. These I think get more frequent in second and third year, so first year is really lecture based, and if you're taking a practical subject such as a science, there'll tend to be a lot of practical work and field work which will make part of the module, and these we tend to be a day where you go out and collect some data, do some research, or you're in the labs doing some research and you're required to write a report on it, and then it's submitted as part of coursework, which is graded, and you're getting given feedback for it as well. This alongside traditional examinations which are spread across the year. Some are formative, which mean they don't count towards your grade and they're solely there for practice. And then the summative, which are treated like the real thing and they do count towards your grade. Now, another thing is the grading system is kind of confusing. It's really shocked me at the start. So what you want to note is a first is usually a grade of 70 or more, usually 70% or more. A 2-1 is 60 or more. A 2-2 is 50% or more. And then a third is 40 or more. And then below 40, I believe, is a fail. Usually first year doesn't count. In my case, second year is 40% of my final grade, and then third year is 60% of my final grade. So that might be different for universities or might be the same for you. It's also important to note that for some courses, that if you have been offered the year in the industry, or the year abroad scheme. You may have to achieve a particular percent in your first year. So I'm planning to do a year abroad. Perhaps in third year I'm required to get 60% to be considered for that. I have not got all my stuff back. It's now January 27th, so we're approaching the end of January, and I still haven't got a lot of my coursework and exam results back. It's staggered. Different lecturers do different things and they give out things at different times. But here's some of the results I've got for my human sciences exams and my zoology exam and my zoology practical. And it's important to note as well that if you are struggling, there are things like peer mentorship programs in play. There are loads of support to help you improve your grades. At the end of the day, first year, they understand, is just a learning step. It's just to get into the habit for develop good habits, get into the rhythm in time for second year where you're actually marked. So in a way, first year doesn't count, they say, but definitely do try your best to build those good habits and then transfer those to second year. As well as that, first year you tend to get the most amount of free time out of all the years, so it's so important you join societies. Look at yourself, list down all your interests and all your hobbies, and I'm sure universities will have a society to cater for that. I'll give you a few examples of mine. So I'm really into my boxing. I found out about the Golden Gloves white collar student events fight night, and I took part in that. And now this term, so that was last term, and I competed and I won my fight. I made a YouTube video if you want to check out my fight. That was really good. I enjoyed it. I loved the training. And now I'm volunteering to help train the next set of Golden Glove fighters for term 2. So that's something that's been taking my time. As well as that, I managed to get into the team of Tremo Football Club. And now I'm training with them alongside their amazing players and going out on amazing socials, just really expanding your network with people that have similar interests to me. Great bunch of lads. The gym, I'm sure every university in the UK has a gym. It's important to go to the gym and just for self-improvement, just to spend your time socialising with others, working on yourself, and just in a community where everyone's supporting each other. The gym can also be a good place to go to. I'm part of Asian Society. I hold the General Secretary role, so I got elected into that position. Being Asian is something that's part of my identity, and now being in that society with quite a lot of people, I'm able to play a role in hosting and celebrating various events based in Asia, which is really cool. It doesn't matter if your interest is in art or if it's in a sport or if it's an appreciation of something, there always will be society out there for it. And if there's not, the student union tend to be open to register any new societies that may not be out there. It's worth noting as well that through COVID, so I believe we're coming out of COVID now, COVID did result in the extinction of loads of societies at my university especially, due to lower attendance rates and no follow-up in terms of new committee members. But that shouldn't stop new societies from developing if it's something you want to do. In term 1, you'll get a lot of parties and socials when you're going out with your group of friends, when you're going out with certain societies. One mistake that I did that perhaps you guys could avoid is come to university and bring perhaps a suit with you or Halloween costume, because Halloween does fall within that term rather than having to go out and spend extra for thoughts. But especially during Freshers Week, so the week before term actually starts, where there's no lectures, no work to do, everyone's just out enjoying themselves and just getting used to the environment, the city that they're in, as it's new for the majority of students for that year. Parties, flat parties, social gatherings are a lot. Even if you do end up having friends at other flats, sometimes just sitting around the kitchen. The kitchen is a really social place. I've gotten really close to my flatmates in the kitchen, just sitting down, just talking about everything. That's a massive way how you connect with friends for life from starting at university. And one thing you may have to get used to as well is when you go shopping. So I go to my local Asda all the time, and it becomes really heavy, as in the bags that we carry. Like, my arms are usually drenched in sweat, and my face is drenched in sweat because of the distance that you have to go, and also the fact that I'm down south and it's really hilly down here, so there's a lot of hills and stairs that I have to climb to get back to my accommodation. That's another thing you want to consider. Consider bringing things like a very good bag, a very good backpack, because I don't forgot to get that, so I have to rely on actual shopping bags. Or even if you bring a shopping bag, like quite a thick, good quality one. The thing is, it can get stressful, university, with assignments and lectures. So it's really nice just to spend some time on yourself and just have fun really out there and what you think you will really enjoy. And before you know it, time is over and you're gonna go home for Christmas. Time does fly because you should be having fun at the end of the day. You come to university to study, and alongside studying, it's about expanding your network, it's about having fun, enjoying the university experience. Yeah, it goes quite quickly. I can't believe it's gone that quickly for me. Just make sure you're on top of your work, because staying behind your lecture notes can be quite difficult. I've had to already do a few all-nighters. I don't recommend doing all-nighters because it messes up your sleep schedule and it does more harm than good, but I've done that because I felt like I could catch up, but don't do it. You should be really proud of yourself once you get to this point, because it is a major milestone. And you can think of it this way: 3 years, there's 3 terms, so there's 9 terms in you completing a 3-year bachelor's degree. You've just completed 1 out of the 9 terms. We're now on term 2, so time does fly. Make sure you spend your time effectively and do have fun. Yeah, just keep looking forward. Those of you who are starting term 2, let's crack on with it. And remember, if you do have any questions, do let me know below. I'm always here to help. Thank you very much for watching.